All right, everyone, welcome to the Backroom Crew. This is going to be a discussion that we're going to have. With me we have Andre and Wesley, and I'm DB, of course.
My name is Wesley.
Serious discussion.
Oh, okay, serious discussion. Sorry.
All right, so let's do a serious discussion. This is going to be about some recent things that we've seen on either the internet or TV. This is going to be pretty much straight to the point. If we debate about it, if it's going to be argument about it, then yeah, probably only going to be about 1 to 2 things that's going to be separate from the podcast. So let's go ahead and talk about this. Recently, the Power Rangers fan film was released, which was an independent short film. It was, I believe, produced by the director of Dread. And it was starring Katie Sackhoff and James Van Der Beek. Now, I personally, I like this. It was great. Cinematography was great. Visual effects were great. And it showed a different take on the Power Rangers kind of mythos and everything like that. It was a little extreme, but altogether, I think it showed that this series can do something more with its audience.
It's an interesting take on the whole child soldier stick of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. The only thing I wish they did more of was more giant robot fights, because I'm a giant robot fan. So
well, they can only do it so much with the budget.
Well, yeah, I know the giant robot probably blew like a third of their budget.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, like as far as like kind of. This is what it feels like, a setup for something else. He says it's a short film. He says that there's nothing else going on there, but it feels like a setup for something big.
Mm-hmm.
And considering I tend to like grim darkness, and there's a lot of grim dark in that. Like I don't know what happened, but it feels like the Power Rangers somehow fucked up pretty bad.
This was more black, like almost like black humor. Black comedy. This was more black than it was more dark.
Even funny.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, I'm just saying. Compare it like black comedy. You know how black comedy.
Black comedy is. Oh man, you just shot that baby with a AK-47 when I was flying through the air like Superman.
Exactly, and then they'll do some drug type things.
But see, none of that was comedic. It was all like.
Well, no, it wasn't comedic. But I'm just comparing it. It was black, not really dark. Like
it's grim dark.
That's how I would compare it. I would compare it as black and not dark. I mean, even though it could be the same thing.
It's the reason why I say it's grimdark is because it's not just the Power Rangers lost. It's the Power Rangers lost so completely the government had to step in. And when the government stepped in, they did what all politicians do when they're overpowered and just bent over and showed the enemy their butt.
Mm.
And then they just let possibly the only form of resistance they had just get murked. So it's grimdark. It's nobody else could do it, so they needed to use children.
Well, what do you think about it? What did you think about it, Wes? I mean, coming from not only your kind of visual aspect of it, like visually, but also storyline aspect of it.
I think that if they were really trying to go for I really don't know. I mean, it's Power Rangers. You don't really. I think everybody was really hyped about the fact that, this is more gritty. But then at the same time, it's like, well, you killed any other chance of making anything else awesome unless you bring in, like, more Power Rangers or some type of other.
But that's what they've been doing. They always bring in more Power Rangers.
Well,
you don't have the only one that's actually been a staple throughout the series is Tommy Oliver, and I think that's because he's blowing Saban.
But at the same time, it's just like it was just unnecessary. It was like unnecessarily over the top, and I see why a lot of the other Power, like the original guys in the original Power Rangers, they were
the only one that actually said anything negative about the series was in fact Tommy Oliver. Everybody else said they liked the cinematography.
You mean Jason Frank?
Jason David.
Sure, whatever his name is, Mr. Jesus Kung Fu.
Jesus didn't tap.
Oh my god. Anyway.
That's because he was nailed to a cross. He can't tap when your hands are nailed to a piece of wood.
Anyway, I just think that if for the visuals, for everything, like the art style, all of that, it was sweet. But at the same time, I think they just might should have just dumped it down a little bit, at least with the whole, Rita Repulsa going around and just like popping dudes in the head.
But actually, that makes a lot of sense. If you spent, years,
like
if you spent years creating golems to do your dirty work and they just keep getting destroyed, sometimes you just gotta do that shit yourself, and that's exactly what you did. She put a glamour. She put a glamour on. She didn't actually physically kill any of them. She just made them kill themselves, except for I think Zack, and I think it was the former Red that was interviewing her, right?
Yeah, she didn't kill Rocky. Yeah, she didn't kill Zack or Rocky.
She had one round. She literally just whispered into their heads and made them do something that they were originally thinking about doing anyway. Bulk and Skull killed the original Red Ranger. Pink died in a fight. Actually, no, that was her. She married the Red Ranger.
Yeah, she married the Red Ranger.
Ha! Brains. Yeah, like almost all of them either killed themselves or she convinced somebody to kill them. She didn't get her hands dirty except for 2 occasions.
Also, I didn't really like the future thing. I mean, it fit like in the interrogation room, but then afterwards, like your flashback scene and all that, it didn't really work too well. Like you didn't really get a chance to see future written like all over it. You only got a chance to see.
Well, remember there was they imply that there is a interval in time between the official disbanding of the Power Rangers and then the actual occupation.
Yeah, because they were kids. They kept referring to we were kids.
So you're talking about maybe if they
no,
were.
But remember the scenes
16.
when they were getting murked. Yeah. Like one of them got murked in a truck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that could have been 18.
Well, no. That could have been sometime because
remember.
But wasn't he at the funeral, at Trini's funeral?
Mm-hmm.
I could have sworn he was also at like Jason was also at Trini's funeral. So that means it had to be sometime. It had to be at least.
Well, when did she die?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Is that her death? The actress actually died, but I'm saying her death is left up. Is just like it's there. You know it happened. You know it happened when she was a Power Ranger.
Well, if you think it was when she actually, if they compare it to when she actually died in real life, she was, in her 20s.
How old was she when she was acting in the show?
Early 20s, probably.
Still probably 2 or 3 years.
Late teens, maybe.
I mean, yeah.
I also didn't like Suits.
The suits
look a little weird. I mean, I thought they were just going to go for the, like a classic or maybe even a more armored classic. But
it did. Those suits were padded.
But they were like, they look weird to me. I don't know, like.
You mean like Zack's suit? But remember, Power Rangers weren't a thing. So if they shut down the thing that they were using to power their stuff, then that means it's running off of something subpar. Which means it probably might not have been able to repair itself properly. Because I also noticed that it was cut and dinged up and all that.
And then also I did remember, what was it? Green Ranger. When he had the little light aura thing.
Oh, the light shit.
The light armor?
Yeah.
I thought that was sweet.
That was, okay, that was alright.
Because that was kind of like a...
Because remember, the Green Ranger wasn't a true Ranger. He was a cursed Ranger.
That was kind of like Omniblade-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, this puts, like, a stress on not only Saban and...
now they got to step their game up.
Saban and Lionsgate, when they actually make the live action, this puts a stress on them because they're...
Now there's going to be a standard to compare them to.
Exactly. And they're also going to be like, okay, how dark are we going to make this? How realistic are we going to make this?
Well, if this Lionsgate, I mean, they're known for some pretty interesting dark things, but at the same time,
they're known
Power
for,
Rangers.
They're known for mainly their like teen movie, like drama movies or whatnot.
Yeah, but it's Power Rangers though. You can't, if you're going to mainstream it and have it like in a theater, you can't have Power Rangers as some bloody, gory mess. You're gonna have to take that back to.
That's the yeah.
I know, but I mean, you don't have
kids.
That's not. You're not. You don't. They don't.
That's the funny thing about Power Rangers, though. The funny thing about Power Rangers, when you compare them to every other single like franchise, when you compare them to, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or you compare them to like the Avengers or Justice League, what do the first thing when you say, "Hey, I saw Power Rangers today," what will it be the first thing people tell you, or say, or ask? Isn't that a kid's show? They won't say that with Ninja Turtles. They won't say that with Justice League or Avengers.
That's because it's animated.
Yeah, but still, they'll say, "Isn't that a kid's show?"
But would you consider the freaking Avengers movie a kid show?
No.
There you go.
Yeah, it's not. But people consider Power Rangers a kid's show.
I know, but they're still essentially superheroes. So you can still give them the essential superhero treatment and make it less. What I was trying to say is that you don't have to make it as nasty a future as it is in the fan film, because it's a fan film. Fan film can say whatever the hell it wants. But if you can use the basic concepts behind what's going on there, and then use the concepts in your favor, you can still come out with a solid show. What I think people don't want to see is like, oh, hey, we punched the bad guy in the chest 3 times, so he's going to blow up. Because nobody liked that shit in Battle for LA. Nobody liked that shit in Battleship. Oh, hey, we destroyed the antenna, so now the entire enemy network's going to fall to pieces. Because they're starfaring aliens, they don't have anything more advanced than antennas.
You watch Battleship?
I was exposed to Battleship because somebody else rented it, and I was in the room at the time.
That's just like Battle Los Angeles.
That.
I don't know what it is with the military and just like one simple solution to fix all, but
no, they wrote themselves into.
It's just any movie's named Battle.
They wrote themselves into a corner in that movie, and then they're like, okay, the entire West Coast is just the entire West Coast front is just completely collapsed. They've got air, land, and naval superiority. They're literally stealing all of our water. How can we solve this? With an ICBM to a communications tower.
They're falling out of the sky! We did it! We did it! America!
I guess so. Well,
see, what would happen normally is that they destroy the primary tower, then the secondary, tertiary towers come up, reconnect, everything kicks back in, nothing actually changes, the heroes die, the end.
They would have been better if they would have just like tried to continue, because that's what I'm saying. If you create a series, especially this goes along with the Power Rangers thing. If you create a series and you write it so that you're killing all this stuff, or rather you get to a point to where you got to take it one or two ways, go the long way. Don't go the short way. Don't go the typical.
Well, here's the thing: they're already getting flagged, and Saban's asked, demanding to be pulled. Like they rescinded that.
Yeah. Because they also realized that if they act like asshats on this, they're going to get a lot of negative PR, and I'm pretty sure they're dumping a lot of money into this movie, which means that negative PR can hit the movie.
Well, they already getting negative PR because from what I've heard, the freaking Sentai, the latest Sentai series that've been coming out, they've all been pretty much directed towards kids and kind of like trash.
I just don't see why.
Even Kamen Rider?
I don't see why companies
from the Power Rangers Sentai.
Producing companies just don't really get with the program, or anybody would get the program like.
It's not so much get with the program. It's just a realization that the original people who watched the shows when they were kids would continue to continuing to watch the show even with their kids. Yeah. It's the same with what Cartoon Network.
You said it though. Huh? You said it with their kids, and that.
Well, no. You didn't let me finish. The same way Cartoon Network hides jokes in a lot of their old cartoons. That's the reason why you can watch the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy or Foster's Home for Imaginary Children. And you can still sit down and watch that. You just have a different perspective because you're older and you can see some of the jokes that aren't there originally.
Or it's like the same reason that Lab.
Yeah, it's the same reason what makes Adventure Time so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
that
you
Marcy, what that Marcy song? That was sad.
Oh yeah, the French fries one.
Well, which one was it with the Ice King?
that. But see, that's
no.
even then. Why? What is with this overwhelming drive to show kids that life is happiness and sunshine all the time? If you let them see that life can sometimes suck, let them adapt to it. It's not going to hit them so hard when they have to deal with it themselves.
Yeah.
Well, in Japan, they do like adults and kids watch, Sentai.
Yeah,
But over here, Power Rangers only watched by kids.
I know, but then again, in Japan, they don't have that overwhelming attitude that, oh, it's a cartoon, or, oh, it's this, therefore only kids can watch it because I'm an adult, so I have to watch this and drink beer and read Playboy and just be her.
We made Andre sad. So, alright. Probably don't have enough time, but let's go ahead and stop that one here. And,
Whatever, let's just continue.
Well, we'll have to make another video.
We'll split it. We'll split it.
Alright.
But, moving on, DBZ movie.
No. You can't do it because the camera's gonna come. I gotta redo it. We're past the time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. We
fine.
were talking like
So, yeah.
forever.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and end that discussion here. We'll start up we'll do another discussion with you guys. Next one going to be talking about the DBZ fandom. So we'll see you guys later.
A lot of good stuff.